Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be showing you guys a really awesome trick in which you can level up super fast. I'm talking about getting 1200 RP per minute, which might not sound like a lot, but it is a ton, especially if this is something that you consider grinding or farming for, especially if you're a lower level or you're really interested in ranking up. This method is going to be perfect for you. So this was discovered by a user, GTA Stuff. I'll leave a link to his profile or page in the description. Full credit goes to him for finding this. I think this is really cool. At a minimum, you are going to need a bunker. And that bunker is going to be the Fort Zancudo bunker. If you don't own it, this one is not going to be possible and this exploit is not going to work. However, ideally, you would want a mobile operation center and you would also want the oppressor motorcycle. This is how this is going to work the best. So I'm going to be talking about the ideal method first and then talking about what you can do if you don't, for whatever reason, own a mobile operation center. So the ideal method is you're going to need to take your MOC and you're going to need to park it along this wall of the Fort Zancudo military base. It's the one that faces the city, not the one that faces Palito Bay. So actually getting the mobile operations center up and parked along this fence is probably going to be the hardest part of this entire thing. So if you can do that, you're pretty much good to go. What you're going to want to do from there is then call your oppressor bike. I will tell you guys a little bit later why this is the best and most preferred method. And once you have the oppressor bike, what you want to do is simply drive across the barrier until you reach this curvature in the fence. Now, what's interesting is by going to this specific part of the fence, you'll actually get a 4-star wanted level like you entered the base. However, you haven't entered the base and you're only a couple meters away from your mobile operations center. What you want to do from there is drive into the blue circle on the back side of your mobile operations center, and then you want to enter. So there's going to be an animation where a ramp comes down and your vehicle will go inside. Now, because the mobile operations center instantly removes wanted stars, you're going to get RP for doing that. So you notice that that sequence only took about 10 to 15 seconds to happen. And from that, we gathered around 400 RP. And what's great about this is you can roughly do this around 3 times per minute. So if we do that pretty simple math, 400 times 3 is 1200, thus getting 1200 RP per minute. Now, once you leave the mobile operations center, 2 things will happen. Number 1, you will obviously lose your stars. Number 2, you're going to be placed at a random part of the map around Fort Zancudo. Some people will be placed a lot closer, some a little bit farther away. I think it depends on the location of your MOC, which you can play around with to figure out what location works best for you. You don't have to park it right up next to this wall. The reason I put it there is it just made the most sense for me. And sometimes you'll be spawned on the other side of Fort Zancudo like me. Now, this is where the oppressor is handy because if you just use the rocket feature to fly over the base, you're going to get 4 stars. You can kind of do what I'm doing right here, which is land pretty close to it and then drive inside. So this method works too if you want to fly over the base and if you have the oppressor bike. It's a great way in which you can still get the stars and also enter in the mobile operation center. So that's something you definitely want to play around with here. The positioning of the MOC, the vehicle you choose to use, although I think it's a clear-cut winner that the oppressor is the best here, and ultimately how you want to go about doing it. So for the sake of this video, I wasn't recording all that long. It was roughly just around 15 or 20 minutes, but at the end of it, I did end up ranking up, which was actually quite nice. And if we multiply 1200 RP times 1 hour, which is 60 minutes, that means if we were to do this for an hour straight, which if you're trying to grind up a level or something like that, isn't all that bad. That's 72,000 RP. That is a lot. I don't think there's any way in which you could gain a similar amount of RP by doing anything else in the game. Now, I know there's probably going to be some players that see this and say, well, I'm really not interested in ranking up. My character is always super high. Well, there could be some people that are watching this video that are either lower ranked, and even if you are a high rank, what's to stopping you from getting a second character? And you might need to rank up that second character so it can compete on the level of all the other experienced players that are in the lobby. Well, this is a great way in which you can ultimately do that. So now, getting back to the non-ideal method, method. The reason I said you don't necessarily need an MOC is because bunkers work the exact same way. So if you get the Fort Zancudo bunker, the one that's literally located like 10 or 15 extra feet away, the same thing will happen. The process will just take a lot longer, and it's a lot more inefficient because it takes longer to load into the bunker, and you're also farther away from the entrance of Fort Zancudo too. So I don't recommend that. That is like a last resort, but at least at a minimum, it can be done without an MOC. So anyways, I thought that this method was pretty cool. It kind of builds on what we talked about the other day, where I showed you guys a pretty cool AFK money method in which you could earn a ton of cash in Grand Theft Auto Online. So same thing with this. I'd love to either hear from you guys in either the comment section down below or on Twitter. Let me know if this method works for you and how many ranks you've gone up if this is something you've seriously tried. Now, this isn't meant to be something that's overly exciting or fun. It's RP farming and grinding. It's going to be a little bit boring, but if your objective is to rank up, then that's the goal and that's what you want to do. And I think this method is a home run slam dunk. So I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check out the original video for yourself, but this one should have provided a pretty good idea of how you could ultimately get the job done. As always, if you guys did go and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.